What if I told you that turning 70 could feel like winning at life? Think about it. At 70 years old, would you feel on top of the world if you could still hike up a hill, recall the name of every old friend, laugh off life's setbacks, live on your own terms, stay connected with loved ones, and wake up each day with a sense of purpose? It's not a fantasy. It's a reality for many thriving seniors. Today, we're diving into 6 key abilities that, if you can still do them at 70, mean you're not just getting older. You're truly living. We'll explore each one through science, expert wisdom, and real stories that prove age is just a number when you're young at heart. So, let's celebrate the journey of aging with strength and optimism, and find out what it takes to be winning at life at 70 and beyond. Are you ready? Let's jump in. First, the gift of physical vitality. Imagine at 70 being able to stroll around the block or even jog lightly without feeling wiped out. If you can still move with ease, whether it's walking the dog, dancing to your favorite song, or simply climbing stairs, you're doing amazing. Physical ability is a cornerstone of quality of life. Science backs this up. One recent study used a simple balance test, standing on one foot for 10 seconds, to gauge health in older adults. The result? Those who couldn't hold that one-legged pose were 84% more likely to die in the next decade than those who could. It's a startling statistic, but also a hopeful one. If you can maintain balance and mobility at 70, you're stacking the odds in your favor. Maybe you're not balancing on one foot in your living room, but the everyday equivalent is staying steady on your feet and active. Even something as humble as a firm handshake or opening a tight jar lid is a secret wind grip strength is actually a powerful indicator of how well we're aging. Geriatric specialists note that people with strong grip strength tend to age more slowly and stay healthier, whereas a weak grip can signal faster aging and even shorter life expectancy. In other words, being able to carry your groceries or pick up your grandchild at 70 isn't just convenient. It's a sign your body is holding up remarkably well. Now, you might be thinking, well, what if I'm not running marathons at 70? Don't worry, you don't need to scale Mount Everest, though Yuichiro Miura did at age 80, to prove your vitality. The key is staying active in ways that matter to you. Maybe it's gardening and kneeling to pull up weeds, or biking to the store, or doing gentle yoga. Every bit counts. In fact, research shows that regular exercise, even just 10 minutes a day, can significantly boost longevity and health. It's the consistency that counts. Need inspiration? Look at Harriet Thompson, a cancer survivor who ran her first marathon at 76 and kept running them into her 90s. Or think of that spry neighbor in his 70s who still shovels his own snow and waves hello every morning. These examples remind us that motion is lotion for the aging body. If you can still get moving at 70, celebrating your physical strength and balance, give yourself a high five. You're winning in more ways than one. Next up, a sharp and curious mind. At 70, being able to keep your mind engaged, whether it's remembering details from your favorite book, learning a new skill, or just staying on top of the daily crossword, is a true triumph. Cognitive health is huge. We often hear about use it or lose it, and there's truth to that. Research has found that seniors who stay mentally active can slow down cognitive decline. For example, one 14-year study showed that older adults who made a habit of reading at least once a week had about half the risk of cognitive decline compared to those who rarely read. Just think, losing yourself in a good novel or the morning news might be protecting your brain in the long run, and it's not only reading. Physical exercise, interestingly, doesn't just strengthen the body, it also benefits the brain. In one study, older adults who stayed physically active showed slower memory loss than those who were more sedentary. So a walk in the park can literally send more oxygen and nutrients to your brain, keeping it sharper. But cognitive thriving at 70 is more than holding on to what you've got. It's also about growth. Neurologists talk about neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections at any age. Remarkably, neuroplasticity persists throughout life. That means your 70-year-old brain is still capable of adapting, learning, and even generating new brain cells, especially in memory centers, given the right stimulation. How encouraging is that? It's never too late to pick up a new hobby or study something new. Older adults can and do form new memories and skills, maybe a bit more slowly, sure, but the capacity is there. In fact, aging can even bring some mental advantages. Studies show that seniors often have larger vocabularies and deeper knowledge than younger adults, and some mental skills like verbal reasoning can actually improve with age. Wisdom isn't just a stereotype. It's a real dividend of growing older. Just look at Donzella Washington, who at 80 years old graduated college with honors, fulfilling a lifelong dream and proving age is not a barrier. Or think of Grandma Moses, the famed folk artist who didn't even start painting until she was 78. Her creativity blossomed late, but bloomed brilliantly. These stories fire up our own neurons. If you're 70 and still curious, still learning, still mentally agile enough to adapt to new technology or tell a great story, you're living proof that the mind's journey is ongoing. Keep challenging that brain of yours. It's one of the surest ways to stay youthful at heart. Third, let's talk about emotional resilience and positivity. Life isn't always smooth sailing at any age, and by the time 70 rolls around, you've likely weathered your share of storms. The question is, can you still face challenges with a smile, or at least with a spirit of, I've got this? If you can still laugh, still find joy in little things, and adapt to life's changes at 70, that's a massive win. Maintaining a positive outlook and resilience in older age isn't just about feeling good. It has real health benefits. Optimism, for instance, has been linked to longer life. Researchers have found that optimists tend to live 11 to 15% longer on average than pessimists, with a much higher chance of reaching age 85 and beyond. It seems that having a glass-half-full attitude helps buffer stress and even bolsters the body. How? Stress hormones like cortisol can wreak havoc over years, contributing to inflammation and disease, but optimists usually handle stress better, leading to less wear and tear on their bodies. In short, staying positive and resilient can literally be a lifesaver. Now, resilience doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means when life knocks you down, you get back up. And at 70, getting back up, figuratively and literally, is a big deal. Maybe you've lost loved ones, faced health scares, or encountered loneliness. Emotional resilience is shown in how you cope and find meaning despite these challenges. Take inspiration from older adults who turn grief into purpose or hardship into humor. Many 70-somethings say they've learned not to sweat the small stuff anymore. That perspective is powerful. In fact, psychologists note that older people often have more emotional wisdom. They know what truly matters and are able to let go of trivial annoyances in favor of gratitude and enjoyment. Do you find yourself focusing on the positives and staying grateful each day? That's a hallmark of emotional strength. Even scientific literature on aging highlights that mental health and resilience are proxies for successful aging, rising above adversity and adapting with grace. If at 70 you can look in the mirror and say, I'm still standing and smiling, you've achieved something priceless. Your resilient spirit not only uplifts you, but also inspires everyone around you that it's possible to face the twilight years with light in your eyes. The fourth thing that spells victory at 70 is maintaining your independence in daily life. Simply put, if you can still take care of yourself and live life on your own terms, give yourself some credit. Think about the basic activities many of us take for granted: getting dressed, cooking a meal, bathing, driving to the store, managing finances. These are sometimes called the activities of daily living, the fundamental skills of self-care. As we age, health issues or mobility limitations can make these tasks harder. That's why being able to do them at 70 is a strong sign of good health and quality of life. In fact, statistics show that fully independent seniors are something of an elite group. A Harvard study found that fewer than 1/3 of Americans over 65 were fully able to perform all their daily activities without any help or special devices. Many others needed at least occasional assistance or adaptations, and about 2/3 of seniors eventually need help with everyday tasks like eating, bathing, or getting around. So if you're 70 and you don't need someone to help you get out of a chair or remind you to take your medicine, if you're handling your day-to-day life pretty much solo, you're doing better than a lot of folks your age. That is no small achievement. It's a huge quality of life booster. Independence isn't about stubbornly doing everything yourself. It's about retaining control and dignity in how you live. Maybe you use some smart tools, a pill organizer, a grab bar in the shower, glasses to read the fine print. But the point is, you're actively managing your life. You call the shots on what you do today, not a caregiver or nurse. That freedom is precious. Just imagine at 70 being able to decide on a whim to bake cookies for the grandkids, drive to see a friend, or simply enjoy the peace of your own home without needing supervision. If you have that, you are indeed winning. Of course, life can change, and needing help at some point is nothing to be ashamed of. But let's celebrate the fact that through your own health practices and maybe a bit of luck, you've reached 70 with the ability to live independently. It likely means you've maintained decent physical health and cognitive function. Cherish that. Continue to do what keeps you self-reliant. Exercise for strength. Keep your mind organized. Adapt your home for safety. Remember, independence is the luxury earned by years of taking care of yourself. And if you're enjoying it at 70, you've won a very important personal trophy. Our fifth sign of a life well lived at 70 is staying socially connected, having loving, meaningful relationships. Humans are social creatures, and this doesn't change just because we hit a certain age. In fact, it might matter even more as we get older. If at 70 you can still pick up the phone and call a dear friend, have a laugh with your siblings, hug your spouse or a grandchild, or even make new friends at a community event, you are rich in one of life's greatest treasures. And science absolutely agrees. A landmark 85-year Harvard study on adult development concluded that positive relationships keep us happier and healthier, and help us live longer. In that study, the people who were most satisfied in their relationships at age 50 turned out to be the healthiest at age 80. Think about that. It wasn't genetics or cholesterol levels at midlife that best predicted who thrived in later years, it was the quality of their connections with others. Good relationships acted like a protective shield, keeping people healthier in body and mind. Even brain function in old age was better for those who stayed socially engaged and connected. There's something about sharing life with others, love, support, even the occasional squabble, that keeps our hearts beating longer and our minds sharper. On the flip side, loneliness and isolation can be as dangerous as any disease. Experts warn that prolonged social isolation carries health risks comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Yes, you read that right. Being chronically lonely can literally take years off your life, potentially shortening lifespan by up to 15 years. Lack of social connection has been linked to higher risks of heart disease, stroke, depression, and dementia. That's why having friends and family to connect with at 70 isn't just a nice to have. It's critical to your well-being. So if you've nurtured relationships over the years, if you still meet your buddies for coffee or have a chat with neighbors, give yourself credit for tending those social bonds. Maybe you're the glue that keeps your family gatherings going, or you make the effort to join a club or volunteer. All these interactions are like vitamins for your soul, and perhaps even for your immune system. One heartwarming real-life anecdote comes from a pair of British ladies, both over 70, who became housemates and best friends to avoid loneliness. Their story went viral as they found joy and companionship in each other's company, proving it's never too late to make new friends. Not everyone has family nearby, but many forge family-like bonds in the community. At 70, if you can still do something as simple as sharing a meal with someone who cares about you, you've hit the jackpot of life. As the Harvard study puts it plainly, good relationships keep us happier and healthier. Period. So treasure your connections and keep them strong. In the game of life, love and friendship are the ultimate points on the scoreboard. Last but certainly not least, having a sense of purpose is a hallmark of truly thriving at 70. Purpose is that feeling that your life still matters, that you have reasons to get up in the morning beyond just routine. It could be anything. Maybe you're passionate about gardening and those roses in your yard give you joy and a goal each season. Maybe you're dedicated to your faith or a charity, volunteering to help others. It could be artistic, like writing memoirs or painting. It could be as simple as being the wise mentor in your family that the younger ones look up to. The specifics don't matter as much as the spark it gives you. If you can still say at 70, I have things I want to do, accomplish, or participate in, then you are truly living, not just existing. And this isn't just feel-good talk. Having a purpose has real, tangible health benefits. A growing body of evidence suggests that seniors with a strong sense of purpose live longer and healthier lives. One large study of older adults found that those with high purpose in life had a significantly lower risk of death. In fact, strong purpose was associated with about a 40% reduction in mortality risk over several years. That's on par with the effect you'd expect from healthy lifestyle choices. Purpose, it turns out, is as important to healthy aging as exercise or diet. It buffers stress, motivates you to take care of yourself, and keeps you engaged with the world. As one geriatric researcher put it, purpose is like a secret ingredient that improves mental well-being, reduces stress, and even lowers your risk of chronic conditions. It makes life not just longer, but richer. Need proof? Look at all the amazing accomplishments people have achieved well past 70 once they find their calling. We mentioned Grandma Moses finding her artistic purpose at 78. There's also Colonel Harland Sanders, who was 65 when he started KFC, and in his 70s was still expanding his finger-licking empire. He found purpose in sharing his special chicken recipe with the world, and it made him a legendary success late in life. Or consider Harriet Thompson again, running marathons in her later years to raise money for cancer research, turning personal perseverance into purpose for a cause. How about the 90-something retirees who tutor children at libraries, or the 75-year-old who started a blog to share life lessons? These are all real examples of purpose igniting late in life and fueling people to stay active and joyful. Even if your purpose is more private, like taking care of your spouse or tending to a beloved pet, it counts. Purpose is deeply personal. At 70, what matters is that something matters to you, that you feel you're contributing, growing, or simply enjoying a pursuit that gives you meaning. If you have that, you've unlocked the secret to not just aging well, but living well. So there we have it. 6 big wins to aim for by age 70. Staying active and mobile, keeping your mind sharp, cultivating a positive, resilient spirit, maintaining your independence, nurturing your relationships, and living with purpose. These are the true wealth of our later years. Notice that none of these are about how much money you have, or whether you have wrinkles, or if you remember every single thing. It's about health, heart, and mindset, the things that actually make life worth living at any age. And the beautiful part is, all of these areas tend to reinforce each other. Exercise can boost your brain and mood. Friendships give you purpose. Learning new things keeps you socially engaged, and so on. It's like a virtuous cycle of successful aging. Now, you might not score a perfect 6 out of 6, and that's okay. Life is a journey, and we're all working on some of these. The message here is one of optimism. If you're not yet 70, it shows what you can strive for and maintain as you grow older. And if you are around 70 or beyond, take inventory of these gifts in your life. Celebrate the ones you have. You've earned them. And if a few are missing, know that it's never too late to make improvements. Reach out to an old friend. Start a gentle exercise routine. Pick up a new hobby or rekindle an old passion. Ask for help where you need it to stay independent. Every step you take to strengthen these 6 facets can improve your life right now and pave the way for joyful years ahead. In a world that often glorifies youth, let's flip the script and glorify a life well lived. If at 70 you can still do the things we talked about, you are absolutely winning. You're defying stereotypes and showing that aging can be active, smart, meaningful, and filled with love. You are the role model that younger folks can look at and say, I want to be like that at 70. And if you're not quite there yet on all 6, remember the story of Donzella Washington graduating at 80, or Grandma Moses painting at 78 age is not a barrier. There's always room to grow, to thrive, to find happiness. So, as we wrap up, ask yourself that opening question one more time. If you can still do these 6 things at 70, are you winning at life? By now, you know the answer. It's a resounding yes. Aging isn't about decline. It's about cumulative victory, the sum of all the efforts and love you've invested in yourself and others over the decades. Turning 70 just means you've had 70 years to become the wonderful person you are, with strengths that can carry you forward. Embrace it, celebrate it, And keep on doing those 6 things. Keep moving, keep thinking, keep smiling, keep taking care of yourself, keep connecting, and keep finding purpose. That's the blueprint for not just a long life, but a life well lived. Here's to thriving at 70 and beyond. Because the game isn't over. In many ways, it's just getting started. Stay strong, stay curious, stay positive, stay independent, stay connected, and stay inspired. If you can do that, you're not just aging, you're winning. Today, at 70, at 80, and all the way through the grand adventure of life.